So this is my first time watching the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Round-Based Zombies Terminus Reveal trailer, new gameplay. What a title. That is entirely too many letters in that title. I genuinely haven't seen this before. It went live about 16 minutes ago and I was a little bit busy, so I'm just catching up with it now, but I'm live on Twitch and I thought I'd do a live reaction to our first look at gameplay. And immediately just on this kind of pause screen, this is the first frame of the trailer. It's nice being able to see what the map properly looks like. So we've had pictures of it before, we've had like really low-res video of it before, but now we're getting something a little bit crisper. And it looks, I mean, it looks a little bit more tropical than I thought. We knew this was like an offshore Pacific prison. So it kind of makes sense that there's lots of palm trees and stuff like that, I think. But I don't want to be negative all the way through this. I'm worried that I will be, because so far everything they've shown off about zombies I haven't been super excited about. But just looking at the map like this, there's nothing that screams to me, oh, that's really cool. Like, it all kind of just looks like, you know, if someone said this was a multiplayer map, I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, makes sense. Like, you know, all the buildings look like the sort of buildings that we've had lots of times in Call of Duty before. You know, I know all developers like to reuse assets, and as people have pointed out to me on Twitter, lots of the old Zombies maps reused a lot of assets. I just really miss when we had things like Shadows of Evil and 9 and Voyage of Despair and Ancient Evil, where we had such like creative levels and there was so much unique art for it and unique enemies and wonder weapons, and everything seemed kind of really handcrafted for an idea of like, oh cool, let's have an adventure in this place. You know, Moon even. Whereas this looks a little bit like, oh, okay, this is, you know, this could be a multiplayer map, or this could be a tiny Warzone map or something. But we'll see. We'll watch the trailer. I'll watch it all the way through once, and then we'll do a bit of kind of more reacting to it, kind of breaking down bit by bit. But let's get going. Oh, you won't have the audio, by the way, just because there's apparently some music that triggers DMCAs in it. So I'll have the music. I can listen to it, but you'll have to imagine. Black Ops 6 Zombies. So this is the little cinematic teaser that we saw yesterday. Going into what I would assume this will be the beginning of the map. Notice, you know, they've all got assault rifles and stuff. No starting with pistols or anything like that here. Omni movement. It's like almost like a mimic trap. Not a mimic like as in zombies mimic, as in a mimic like Dungeons and Dragons mimic trap. Some water. Kind of interesting. Zombies in tubes. That seems to be the theme of this year. Zombies in tubes. Okay, so we get like a special zombies juggernaut suit type thing. Like we're going to be a mangler or something. There's a boat. This is more interesting. Takes us to some cool island. Is that just a Reiki? That's the Berserker mod from Doom. Is that PhD flopper making you slide on fire? Horrible spiders. Cool. Tentacles. Cool. Okay. Not blown away by that. I don't think we saw anything like completely groundbreaking, but we can break it down a little bit and talk about the things that we did see, I think. It's kind of reinforcing my idea that they're not doing anything super new. I don't know if anyone saw, there was a Reddit post the other day, but it definitely wasn't like backed up by facts or evidence or anything like that, but was supposedly someone who worked at Treyarch had said that, oh, they've actually been like, since, you know, all studios are working on all projects, actually Treyarch have been stretched super thin, because Treyarch isn't a big studio at all. You know, they've been working on Ranked and stuff. And MWZ for a little while and Vanguard Zombies for a little while and stuff like that. that actually they've only really had like a year to work on zombies for this one. And so it's maybe not as fully fleshed out as people were hoping from a 4-year dev cycle. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see what we think. So let's get started. We don't really learn that much from that. I mean, you can see there's obviously something going on with the big coastal gun there. That's obviously going to be something that we're interacting with, because look at it on the side. There's some purple glowy stuff, which is related to Dark Aether. There's also a zip line over there. So, you know, maybe fast escape, stuff like that. So we've got some sort of zip line there. I'm not sure if we can really see much of anything else. There's obviously a lot of doors open and things like that. So it looks like all of this is playable space. I'm not sure about that whole back roof bit over there. But yeah, don't think there's too much we can see there. It just looks like, you know, a relatively big area to run through. I'm just trying to think of the other maps, the other zombies maps. How big were they? If this has got like 2 or 3 floors, then I think that's, you know, an average size. It's not huge, but it's not tiny either. It's a good size. Right, so this bit we've already seen. This is the cinematic. I thought it was a little bit weird that the cinematic was kind of showing the prison breakout. I thought when they said in Terminus, we're going to be breaking people out from prison, I thought either we were going to be in prison and finding a way to break out as like the beginning of it, or maybe we would be breaking someone else out of prison. The fact that the actual prison breakout bit happens before we start playing, I don't know. Like, that seems not very exciting to me. It doesn't seem like a very exciting way to do it. I thought that cinematic was a little bit dull. It was just kind of like, okay, here are the characters. You've met them before. Here they are again. This is the plan. They're going to go kill Richtofen, or they're going to think that they're going to go kill Richtofen. I bet they end up teaming up against a bigger bad enemy from the Dark Aether. But that's kind of the plan so far. But right now they need to get off this island. Raptor 1 has gone off to go get a helicopter ready, and they're going to find the coordinates of Richtofen and go find Maya's brother. Maya, I think. Maya's brother. That's kind of the story of this thing. So we're going to be finding her brother, willing to bet that he's turned into a beastie, finding out where Richtofen is. Strauss is doing that, apparently, and then getting off the island. So this is obviously the beginning of gameplay. I suppose this is meant to be the very beginning, the first time you're playing it. And the thing that stands out to me, I'm not sure if it's just because that's how the cinematic works, is the fact that they're all starting with assault rifles. And, you know, it used to be a big thing in zombies if you start with a pistol, and that gave you a reason to seek out wall buys and to seek out the mystery box and things like that. Now you can start with your loadout weapon. So obviously lots of people are going to be going in with a shotgun, because that got you through pretty much everything in Black Ops Cold War. A decent shotgun will just do you absolutely fine. And it kind of ruins a bit of it. You know, when I play Black Ops Cold War, I don't really use the mystery box unless it's to try and get something fancy. And it's like the wall buys and stuff like that are basically irrelevant, because you already have the best gun that you want. You already have something completely set up. I kind of hope, and I saw someone recommending this on Reddit, that maybe they could do like a normal mode, you know, a story mode for it, where you can use whatever guns you want and stuff like that. And then maybe like a hardcore mode, or maybe actually the story mode should be the more immersive mode, where you don't get so much of a HUD and everything, and you just start with a pistol. That could be kind of cool. But, you know, in the cutscene, they've already shown them handing out a load of guns. So maybe a little bit less exciting there. Right. What else have we got going on? So this is our first look at the new zombies. They look like other zombies. I've seen some people from the little snippet they released getting super excited over the zombie models. I don't know. To me, they just still look like zombies. We can see, if we pause it a bit there, you can see there's a bit of variety, which is cool. You know, there's a guy in a hazmat suit. There's a guy in some sort of overalls. There's someone in a dress. There's someone in a suit for some reason. Not sure why there's someone in a suit and someone in a dress on a prison island out in the Pacific. But anyway, yeah. Where did all these people come from? Why are there so many people here? Are they meant to all be other inmates? Are they meant to be the prison guards? I don't really know. Did Peck just walk past them? How did the zombies even start breaking out here? I've got no idea. But, yeah, I mean, I suppose they look fine. I don't know. I don't think they look that exciting, personally. Here, this is the little bit that we saw a little bit more in the GIF on the tweet, was this bit of them shooting out. And you can see there's a weapon crate on the right. looks like, someone might correct me, but that looks like the Black Ops Cold War weapon crate to me. On the left, I think that's the Gobblegun machine that we've already seen. It's got the Mr. Peak statue on the top. There's weather effects, so it's raining. That's kind of cool. That's something that I don't know if we've seen that before in Zombies, have we? There being like weather effects. We've got Omni movement. Obviously, this is the big thing for Black Ops 6, the ability to dive sideways. Not entirely sure how useful that's going to be in Zombies, because after the Omni movement, this is the bit that people don't seem to be thinking about, is you do the cool dive sideways, then you're on the ground and you kind of need to awkwardly get up while zombies are closing in on you. Not sure how useful that's going to be. I'm not sure how many people in Zombies are going to be like diving around corners to surprise the zombies while they shoot them. I don't know. That doesn't seem massively helpful to me. I guess maybe diving backwards might be helpful at some point. But the sideways diving, it's going to look cool, but I'm not sure what else it's going to do. They have said there's a theatre mode in multiplayer. I wonder if the theatre mode will cross over to Zombies. Because if it does, that could be pretty amazing, I think. That could be pretty cool. Right, what else have we got? Lots of blood getting smashed up. This is the guy. He's got a backpack on. That's nice. That's the guy. Oh, that's Carver just shooting lots and lots of people. Carving his way through the zombies. Ha! Yeah, in the rain. Cool. And, you know, it does look, everything looks suitably wet, which is nice because it's raining. Still, I mean, I wouldn't say the graphics look amazing. The graphics don't look great. It's weird with Call of Duty. They always seem to, like, jump ahead of most other games. You know, when they have a big engine upgrades, often at a new generation, they do a really good job. And then as time goes on, it starts kind of starting to show its age. So you can sort of see the geometry and stuff here and some of the grass textures and stuff, just or sprites or whatever they are. I don't know. They look like little 2D images. Just look a little bit lame. Like, to me at least, they just don't look great. But I'm being too picky here. Those little chunks of flesh flying around look absolutely lovely. What else have we got? Bang, bang, bang. So we've got this trap. So it's, you know, something in the ceiling that's like a mimic chest type thing. Tentacles flashing out, tentacles going through its own teeth, which is a little bit strange. Or are they teeth? Oh no, they're teeth on the tentacles, I think. Gross. I found out yesterday, I was watching something, this is completely irrelevant, that, you know, narwhals have like a big horn. That horn is a canine tooth, and it just kind of goes through their mouth, like out the front of their face and in a straight line. That's disgusting. Now, when you look at a photo of a narwhal, you can very clearly see it's a tooth that's piercing their face. Like that episode of Simpsons where Homer doesn't want the dental plan anymore, gives up the dental plan, and then it shows what Lisa would look like if she doesn't have braces and all her teeth are like coming out of her face. That's what a narwhal is. Anyway, yeah, so this is a trap. I don't know. I've never cared about traps in Zombies. I don't know why. I've never been excited about them. I don't think I've ever seen a trap in Zombies and been like, oh, that's amazing. They're just like, you know, maybe the original, you know, what's it called, the flogger thing, you know, the big poles that go around. Maybe that when I first saw it, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then since then, I don't know. For some reason, they didn't do anything for me. Just a way of killing a few zombies, I guess. And yet you can see there's a button that you press to activate it. Some dodgy looking bookcase there, and the zombies get, for some reason, sucked up into it. I suppose the idea is that the tentacles are meant to be like grabbing them and pulling them up, but obviously the engine can't handle something that complicated, so they just fly. Fine. Round-based zombies. They really want to make a big deal of it being round-based zombies. They're like, hey, we've given you a load of bad games for a while. Look at this. This is going to be a good one. Maybe. And we'll see. So this seems to be you controlling some giant gun. Now, unless this is how you fight the big tentacle monster that you see later in the video, I don't really know what this is going to be for. Using a giant coastal gun to shoot something. I guess it's important. I don't know. Oh, it's a trap. Okay, so sorry, I missed that. It's another trap that somehow sucks zombies into the air, then blasts them out. Okay, it's another trap. That's a lot less exciting than everything that was going on in my head for some reason. Right. And then this room, I think, did we see a little clip of this before? A little shot that looked a bit like this room. And I said immediately that it looked a lot like D Machine. Now we see it in better light. It doesn't look like D Machine. But one interesting thing is I was looking at the fact, you know, oh, there's a bunch of water. It looks like maybe it was swimming down. That machine there makes me think maybe we're going to be lowering the water level. Maybe this is one of these kind of cliched video game puzzle rooms where you have to make the water level go down so you can access something underneath. maybe. Or maybe you just have to swim down to activate it. But that definitely looks like something you can activate there, but it's underwater right now. And that looks like a ledge that you would clamber up, but it's underwater right now. So I'm guessing we're going to be lowering the amount of water in this room, and then maybe unveiling something. And there's lots and lots of floors. There's lots of kind of climbing up. You know, we've seen that before in like the silo and Outbreak. It's not something super new for zombies. I just think I'm tired of this whole aesthetic of this kind of industrial military complex, military bunkery type thing. I feel like we've seen this kind of thing quite a lot in Call of Duty. Ever since Modern Warfare 2019, I feel like we've kind of been spinning our wheels and seeing the same things over and over again. And this feels like a bit more of that. But now we have water, because you can swim in Call of Duty games now. So cool. And then there's the zombies in tubes. We've seen these in Warzone, you know, in Bunker 5 on Urzikstan, there's a load of zombies in tubes, and in Bunker 13, there's some zombies in tubes. They are a different color, they're a different design. Not sure if they're meant to be connected to this, or if it was just like, people in tubes are cool, that's a cool aesthetic. Get it now from IKEA. I don't know. These look different, but they are there. Zombie. That looks like a different kind of zombie. From the zombies that we saw outside, this looks like a much more kind of feral zombie, doesn't it? Like its teeth are very inhuman, and its ribcage is on the outside, which isn't a good sign. So then more zombies. Zombies coming out of prison cells. Zombies. Oh, one of these like feral type zombies strapped to the bed. This one's got jeans on though. So probably not like a experiment. Although maybe they just put jeans on them to protect their modesty. They created some feral zombie ghouls, and then they thought, this is a bit rude. Let's slap some jorts on them. Why not? There's a fat zombie as well. Look at that. There's a fat zombie. Do you think that's going to be like typical like Left 4 Dead type thing? That if you shoot that zombie, he explodes and everyone's sick or something like that? Or maybe it's just a fat zombie. I don't know. Maybe they need more like body shape representation in zombies. he looked like he was doing dressage. Just look at the way this guy runs backwards. It's Weaver. Look at the way he's prancing backwards. He's been watching the Olympic dressage. He's a very good horse. So you see there's one of those feral zombies there, so it looks like maybe that's just a skin of zombie and it's not a new zombie boss type. There's a couple that are hazmat zombies. There's 3 of the fat ones, 4 of the fat ones. And again, I know I'm being negative. I can't help it. I want to be really excited about zombies. I'm not feeling it yet. Maybe someone in the comments can turn me around, can convince me as to why this looks super cool. But just here, this is their trailer to show it off, to make it look at its absolute best. You've got 4 models of zombies there in that group of not many that are completely identical. 4 zombies that are all wearing the exact same clothes. And then 2 zombies there that are wearing the exact same clothes. Like, they could have tried a bit harder. Surely. I mean, I'm sure, like, what's really going on is there's some limitations of the engine. They can't, like, mix and match clothes on different models or something. You know, you see lots of games where they have loads and loads of zombies, and each zombie, you know, has a choice of 10 different t-shirts and 10 different trousers and 10 different hats. And then once you put all those together, you've got, like, you know, however many 10,000 different combinations of zombies. Or no, 1,000, I don't know. But you've got loads of different combinations of zombies, so you don't see many zombies that look exactly the same. Whereas here, obviously, they do look exactly the same. Those 2 look different. They've got exactly the same head injury, but that one's got a blue vest on and that one's got a green vest on. So, you know, both got the same gloves. So there's some variation there, but for some reason those 4 look the same. It probably doesn't matter when you're playing the game, but it's all of these little things where it's like, it just sort of makes your brain be a bit like, I can sort of see what they did there. Like, they cheaped out a little bit there. Like, that's a shame. And it's like, individually, they don't matter. But when it keeps building up, where it's like, the buildings are the same sorts of buildings as what we saw in Warzone. The setup of this is kind of similar to what we've seen in another Zombies map. The weapons are like this. The zombie models are repeating over and over again. It just kind of, to me, that all builds up to be a bit like, that's not as good as it could have been, is it? But, I don't know. So this is where he injects himself with something. So he's injecting himself with some sort of dark aethery type thing. Purple means dark aethery. There's a big map there. I don't know what that's about. Is that a map or is that a brain? I don't know. So he injects himself with something, and that turns him into Iron Man. Well, it turns him into a mangler, basically, doesn't he? Like, this is a mangler. Like, he's got the mangler arm cannon there. because that's the bit you would shoot to hurt him. So he turns him into a mangler, kind of Robocop-y looking mangler, but still a mangler nonetheless. So now you're a mangler and you can run through zombies. And you've got the like sword thing on your arm. I'm guessing you can probably use the big cannon. I don't know. And then, you know, you can slide and shoot. That was a bit of a slide cancel there. Just in case you were being hopeful like I was that maybe slide cancelling wouldn't be in a game. She looks like she did a bit of a slide cancel there. And she got straight up to shooting. So that's pretty much confirmation that that's back in the game. Won't matter for zombies, but kind of annoying for multiplayer. Anyway, and then the mangler guy running around. Oh yeah, there we go. He's using a cannon. Like a shockwave type thing, kills those things. So you inject yourself with Dark Ether, you turn into a mangler for some reason. Now again, gonna keep with the whole slightly negative thing. They could have made something new rather than we're becoming a mangler. Maybe? Like they could have done something different, or were they just like, well, we've got the model for a mangler around, we've got some animations for the mangler, probably not them running like a quarterback through a bunch of people, but like... It seems a little bit like maybe they just had that lying around and they decided to do it again. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Diving into the water. So you definitely are swimming. That looks like... Oh, is that on a lift, maybe? That's the Pack-a-Punch machine. So they dive into the water and you can see there's like what looks like an aquarium under there. Lots of seaweed and things in this building. And then is that being lifted up? So I guess, so that's the machine. That is the machine, isn't it? That's the machine that I was looking at. So it's not that you lower the water level. Instead, you're raising something out of the water. You're raising this platform out of the water. Fair enough. And then that's got Pack-a-Punch on it. And it's the same Pack-a-Punch machine that's been since Black Ops Cold War. Maybe there's a lore reason why they use the same model for the Pack-a-Punch machine still. But they are doing the same one, so I'm just getting a phone call. Just cancel that. They're using the same Pack-a-Punch machine again. None of this is screaming, we've had 4 years to make like a really perfect zombies experience to me. But, you know, we'll see. I'm guessing this machine probably can move the platform maybe, and maybe these buttons can summon it to you. So I guess you turn the power on and then that lifts up. Now this bit's interesting. This is probably, to me, the most interesting bit of the whole trailer. Not them jumping in the water and seeing the Pack-a-Punch machine that we've had for ages. They are on a boat, flying through some caves, shooting some, I think they're kind of new. I don't think they're the things from Shadows of Evil, are they? Some new little flying beasties. So that's kind of cool. New monster type. Like it. And obviously there's another couple later on in this trailer. Are they driving this boat, or is this like a scripted sequence where you get on a boat and then it launches you and you have a time where you're shooting things to try and stay alive while you're on the boat? Don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think there's going to be vehicles that we're driving around in a round-based zombies map, which seems a little bit crazy? Or do you think this is just like a scripted kind of, you all get on the boat and then it launches and you get to shoot while you're standing on a boat? Because that looks like somebody is driving it. Well, who is driving it? So there's Gray and Maya. And then there's two people shooting. That person doesn't seem to have a skin. They've got some ninja skin. And then Gray seems to be driving the boat, which makes me think... That makes me think that maybe you are going to be driving the boat, so you're actually going to be leaving the island. But then what, can you just sail off into the sea? That's probably what I'd do if there's loads of zombies. Just go away from the zombies. That makes sense. But yeah, that's really interesting. That looks like, you know, something new. If we've got vehicles, that could change things up quite a lot. So they look like they're driving boat. It's a different type of boat as well. It's not the rib boat, I don't think. And then they're going somewhere. So on this island, which looks like a completely separate location, there's a Pack-a-Punch, not Pack-a-Punch, a mystery box over there. And then they... Well, I paused it a second ago. Somewhere, let me see if I can do this again. There. They go past a wrecked boat there, which, you know... If you've been playing Call of Duty for a while, you'll recognize these boats, because these boats have been on lots of maps so far. We definitely had them in Al Mazrah. We had them in... we've got boats like that, I think. Have we? No, we didn't have them in Verdansk, I don't think. Where else have we seen them? Are they? I don't think they're necessarily the same type of boats as what we have in Rebirth. I think those boats are a bit more built up. But they look like a very similar kind of model boat, like all the ones that were sunk off the coast of Al Mazrah. I spent ages searching them for things. But yeah, it's that boat again, isn't it? And it looks a little bit like, if I just go back a couple of frames, if I just rewind, it looks like there's something on that boat. So not sure if that's just a light, but look there, you can see there's a zombie on that boat, and then what looks like a gobblegum machine there. So that's kind of interesting. I'm guessing you will be able to drive these boats around, and this is like a location you can go to. Like, oh, you take the boat over to the sinking cargo ship, and then there'll be stuff to do on there as well. So that makes the map a lot bigger. That makes the map a bit more interesting. Is this secretly going to end up being like transit, and there's going to be like loads of different locations for us to go to, and Terminus is just the first one? I don't think so. Maybe Milo was right all along. I don't think so. Right, and then they go to this island. So then this island, they plow into a load of zombies. It was nice for the zombies to stand there. That person dives backwards into some zombies. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. But when they land, they've got PhD flop or something, they explode. We also see a power-up start there, I think. Don't know what that was. Is that that looks to me a bit like all the bullets that give you the death machine. Which we haven't seen that for a while in zombies, have we? The death machine? I don't know. Did we have that in Black Ops Cold War? I don't know. I don't think we did, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm misremembering. But that's what that looks like to me. It's super blurry, so it's hard to tell. And then that gun is blasting zombies to little pieces. So that's good. I'm just rewinding that because I want to see a picture of the gun and what its effect is. Oh, that looks a bit weird. Looks like a Christmas decoration, but like a gruesome Christmas decoration. So that's a shotgun, but it does some sort of crazy power thing. Is that a new ammo type, maybe? It fires all of these weird purple orbs. Then zombies are coming out of portals. There's some more zombies. That looks like the Warden. The Warden skin for some reason in there. Gobblegums. Do we know what the Gobblegum that is? I can't remember the Gobblegums that well. I didn't play loads of Black Ops 3. So what, no. Let's rewind it enough so I can see that Gobblegum. There we go. Oh, does it mean you get a ray gun out next time you open up the mystery box? Is that an old Gobblegum or a new one? Again, let me know in the comments. I'm sure I'll get lots of comments for people correcting me about stuff. I'm interested to know if there's any new ones. Are we going to see any new guns in the mystery box? I mean, I'm guessing these are all new guns for like Black Ops 6. I'm just trying to see if there's anything that looks really cool. Oh, don't really like that effect. Hopefully that's not in the game. Hopefully that's just a video thing. There we go. So this just looks like the, is this the Ray-K? Is that what it's called? The Ray-K? The one that was in Firebase Z. Is that what this is? It's got a little blobby thing in there. But it looks like it does a lot more damage now. And then it's got this cool little, this is the new perk, the Melee Macchiato, that lets you punch stuff, like the Berserk thing in Doom. Then there's someone using a minigun. Is that going to be a trap, or is that going to be actually someone using the minigun? People sliding through. This looks new. This is a new, like, not quite a ray gun, like a weird little, like, revolver-y laser gun thing. Kind of interesting that it's switched out almost, you know, like there's some pistols in Modern Warfare 3 and I think Modern Warfare 2 where you could be using your main gun and then you could just like have fast draw, so you could like switch to them without really getting rid of your main gun. Looks a bit like that, looks kind of cool. Zap zombies into purple mist, and then I'm guessing, I don't know for sure, I'm guessing the helicopter leaving, this is gonna be the final cutscene. Are we just seeing, have they just, you know, spoilers, this is the end of Terminus, maybe, of the zombies getting away, maybe, not sure. And then, oh, then we see the new spidery thing that we got teased on thetruthdies.com the other day. So this, you know, it's a new enemy type. I'm always up for new enemy types. It's a spider. I know we've had spiders before, but it's a sort of different type spider. And then there's this weird abomination thing made up of lots of gruesome bits of body and stuff. Disgusting, kind of got spiders around it, and then they all shoot it. And then there's a big tentacle comes out of the water, and it's got a hand for a head. And then that's it. That's everything. We got some numbers because it's Black Ops. Of course we do. I don't know if they're actually going to mean anything. So that's everything. Let me know what you think. That's kind of my reactions. I'm a bit underwhelmed, I have to say. I'm curious about this whole thing about getting on the boat and being able to go to what seems like an island and a sunken ship. That's kind of got me interested. But I'd say That's maybe the only thing that's really interesting. Oh, the new enemy types. The fact that we've got these spider things, these flying things, the tentacly monster at the end. That's kind of interesting. I just want new stuff. I just want zombies to show us new stuff. And I'm slightly worried if this is the big trailer, that unless they're doing something amazing and keeping loads of stuff as like a secret, then I'm not thinking there's that much new stuff in the game, which is a little bit of a shame. I was just about to end this video, but then I got told that there was some extra stuff from some of the creators that got to play this early, and from tweets that they've put out. Apparently you can now save your game, which in one side is a good thing. It's always good to have, you know, the option to save rather than not, because if you're doing something that takes a long while, then it's super frustrating if you end up just having to go and then you lose all your progress. That would absolutely suck. On the other hand, it also makes me think, okay, we're going down that route of zombie stuff taking a long while. I've always thought one of the problems with zombies was that the first like half an hour, 40 minutes is normally mind-numbingly easy. And then to get to the challenging stuff, you kind of had to grind for quite a long time to get something good, which meant in an evening, you wouldn't often want to play loads of games of zombies. You'd, you know, do one or two, and then you'd be like, oh, I don't really want to go through that half an hour of setup again. Now, if they're talking about making it so everyone can save, that kind of makes me think that maybe we're going to be waiting a bit longer. You know, like we're going to be having longer games. They're going to be planning for longer games. So that's a little bit of a shame, I think. That kind of sucks. I also got told that there's a bit of the end list. I stopped when it got to the pre-order bit because I thought it would just be that. But apparently there's a bit more to this trailer. So let's check out the end bit. So there's some pre-order tools. Oh, good. Legendary Ether tools. Flawless Ethereum crystals. Ray gun weapon cases. Oh, so that's playable. Is that playable? No, that's playable in Modern Warfare 3. Is that? Oh, that's all from MWZ. Good. For a second there, I was like, oh no, this is all going to be, they're bringing all that stuff back. But no, that's from MWZ. Oh, I don't care about that at all. That's like useless. Anyway. Right. Oh, here we go. So this is Liberty Falls. This is the other map. This is the map that is, I thought was going to be based on a multiplayer map. Looks like they've made more of a change to it than I maybe expected, because what we've seen of the multiplayer map, everything looks quite pristine, whereas this is all quite smashed up. You know, lots of smashed up cars there, some big APCs that say Project Janus on it, so like a zombies thing. There's one of those little track tanky things that you have to do in MWZ as one of the things. There's some sort of weird mine there. I don't know, some sort of trap or something there. So it looks like maybe they've changed this map more than I thought. I was really worried that the Liberty Falls map was going to be like just a multiplayer map with zombies on it. You know, like how we used to have Onslaught from Black Ops Cold War? Yeah, it was Black Ops Cold War, wasn't it? Where it was just the multiplayer maps, but with zombies now. I was worried it was going to be that. But it looks like they've made more of a change to it, which is cool. This is a positive. Oh, and then there's the big turbine jet engine gun thing. Then they've gone into what looks like Stranger Things. There's a portal. Where's that portal taking us? Somewhere... Does anyone recognize this? If you know where this is, let me know. There's some sort of weird machine with 3 circles on it there. There's a Pack-a-Punch there. An upside-down church by the looks of it. And then, what was that? Just going out into the dark ether? Well, let's have another look at that. So it looks like the sky is just open to the dark ether. So I'm guessing this is just like a mini little... You hop through a portal to go get the Pack-a-Punch, like you do in like the theater map and stuff like that. Okay, so then they're going to see this live Liberty Falls gameplay at Call of Duty Next. And that's kind of interesting that they're going to be playing Liberty Falls. I was wondering how they'd manage it, because I'm guessing Terminus is like the main story one where people will be like racing to do the Easter egg on stuff first, and Liberty Falls is like the smaller side map. This sort of reinforces that at COD Next, they'll let people play Liberty Falls, so they'll get to play with zombies mechanics, but I'm guessing maybe, you know, it won't be such a big deal that that map is getting spoiled a little bit. It'll be, you know, Terminus will be the big one for launch, and we can all start that one at the same time. So that's kind of good that other people aren't going to get to play Terminus early. I like that a little bit. But then that's the end of the video, I think. Right, so thank you very much. If you enjoyed this, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. I can understand people not liking my opinions on zombies. I'm just waiting for something to really excite me. And that little snippet of Liberty Falls was like, okay, that's cooler than I thought. That was more positive. Nice to end on a positive. Just when I was about to end the video again, now there's a whole blog post with tons of new information. So let's just quickly nip through some of the highlights. So at the beginning, it talks about some of the story behind this and the timeline and stuff like that. Mostly stuff that we knew. With Liberty Falls, it just kind of says, there's a Dark Ether outbreak. I kind of still get the impression this is a side thing. It's not as a big of a deal as Terminus is. And I'd guess that we'll probably get these fairly regularly, kind of, twisted versions of some of the multiplayer maps, maybe. That's still kind of my thinking behind it. But there is some other interesting stuff. So, and this, it goes on to talk about how round-based is going to work. Currencies are back. You have Essence and Salvage. Now you can buy armor using Essence, and you can also buy everything else that you normally buy. And then you can use Salvage in order to upgrade your weapons and things like you could in Black Ops Cold War. All of that's pretty similar. There's just not a difference between... There's no like high-grade Salvage and normal Salvage anymore. They've kind of made that a bit simpler. They also talk here, kind of explaining something that we saw in the trailer, that the main quest for Terminus follows similar pattern, and you're free to fully explore the prison area, ocean, and smaller islands with tactical rafts. So that's what the boats are that we saw. They're called tactical rafts. Sounds like we will be able to pilot them around and then choose to visit different islands. Like, it's got a plural on it, so there's more than one island. So you'll be able to check out, you've got the prison area, the ocean. I don't know, like, will we be able to swim down in it? Is there going to be anything down there? Am I going to spend hours in a stream checking every square inch of an underwater ocean in the dark in a rainstorm? Probably. So subscribe, turn your notifications on. And then one really interesting thing is it's talking about the Easter eggs and stuff. And it says, and this is, I think, really, really clever, they are doing kind of two versions of the main Easter egg. Now, they tried this a bit in World War II Zombies, where straight from launch, there was like a normal Easter egg that kind of held your hand through it and told you the story. And then there was a hardcore Easter egg. And I always thought that was the perfect solution to that problem of the hardcore community wanting something to hunt, wanting something difficult to find, and then normal people just wanting to experience the story. Because in some of the old Zombies maps, you can't really experience the story unless you watch a YouTube guide on how to do it. Like, you can't just discover it for yourself or with your friends. And that, I always thought that kind of sucked. This time they're doing things a bit differently. Instead, the Easter egg will start off like the old-fashioned ones, where it will be kind of hard to find. It won't guide you on where to go or anything like that. The community will have to like work together to find it. I think that's kind of cool. And then a little bit later in the season, they'll add a different mode to it. And then people will be able to kind of get a bit of guidance through the main quest. It will cap rounds to certain stages of your quest progression. So no more kind of keeping a crawler around so you can do a bit without it getting too difficult. It will be like, oh, okay, you haven't turned the power on, so we're not going to go past round 5. Or you haven't unlocked the tactical rafts yet, so we're not going to get past round 10. Side quests and Easter eggs will be disabled in that version. It really is just kind of for people to experience the story without having to watch a YouTube guide. And I think that's awesome. I think that's really good. It makes zombies much more accessible. It means more people will experience the story, and I think that's a really good thing. But you still get the main quest, and you get some extra rewards for doing the main quest the old-fashioned way, where if you manage to do it before the launch of the guided mode, you get an exclusive calling card. I think that's really, really cool. I think this is really fun. I think that's a really, really good idea to have this kind of the normal main quest mode for the people who like want to do an Easter egg hunt as soon as the zombies map comes out, and then the guided mode for people who just want to experience the story later. Sounds awesome. Exfil is back, so that's still a thing. They talk about Omni movement, which again, I don't think is that interesting. This is kind of interesting. You can switch from first to third person if you want. Could be cool for me for screenshots and stuff like that. Some people really like playing games in third person. I actually surprisingly liked Warzone in third person. It was better than I thought it would be. So yeah, that's kind of cool that you can switch into third person at any time if you want to. Might make it easier to when you're searching for things for Easter egg as well, because it'll let you see around corners and stuff. So that could be kind of cool. You can change the HUD, so just like you're able to do in the other parts of Black Ops 6. I'd forgotten about this actually, but that's really, really cool. You can change stuff around the HUD if you want. So they've got the map at the top left there, and then here they've done it without the map, and they've moved things like where the character portraits are when they're talking. They've moved that a little bit inwards if they wanted to. They've swapped around, you know, whether your tacticals and lethals and your special ability are available. Oh, looks like the special abilities are back, by the way. That's cool that you can manipulate it. One of the best things that I've seen today in all of this reveal is this little bit. Emotes and sprays are back. So emotes and sprays are back. It's something that's been in Black Ops games before. Absolutely love it. And it looks like there's a bunch of them and you can use them in zombies. Love it. No notes. Super happy about that. I hope the emotes are like super crazy like they were in Black Ops 4, where, you know, you had things like setting off a nuke behind you or firing laser eyes into the sky. That would be really cool. But we'll see. Maybe they'll just be the hand things. Even if it's just the hand things. I want to see another thing like Jack Frags running around showing the red card to people. That was really funny. Him doing that to zombies, there for it. That'll be cool. So that's really, really cool. And then there's also a little bit more information about the saving that I mentioned. Saving can only be done if you're solo. That's a little bit of a bummer, I think. I guess it's a bit too complicated otherwise. If you're solo, you can pause it, you can save it, and you can recover. If the servers break or your internet breaks, you can actually recover and get back to a point where you had saved it before. If you're in a squad, as long as the host of the game is still going, other people can rejoin, which I think is how it worked in Black Ops Cold War. It was just a bit hit and miss. I know when I was on Noah J and Codename Pizza's team for Firebase Z, I disconnected from that due to lag, and then I managed to reconnect, but it just kind of put me back in the game without having anything. They haven't really cleared up here whether that'll happen again, whether you come back with no essence, no upgrades to your weapons or anything like that, because that kind of sucked. That kind of ruined that Easter egg hunt for me, but oh well. It goes on to talk about customizing perks and ammo mods and field upgrades. All of that stuff sounds kind of similar. But now perks have research paths that you can do in pre-game menus. So just like how you used to be able to spend crystals to upgrade stuff, looks like you can do a similar kind of thing by adding augments onto them. A minor augment offers a limited advantage, typically when you're using it. A major augment gives a substantial advantage, usually when you're using it. And for each perk, you can choose a minor and a major, and you can do it for an ammo mod and a field upgrade. So whereas before you would just upgrade all of them and you had all of the upgrades at once, now it's a bit more like a skill tree. You choose which augments you want to add on. Could be cool. We'll have to see what they're like. I mean, I got really excited about Vanguard's like roguelike system, and then it ended up being like kind of boring. So hopefully it'll be better than that. Now, it talks about pre-game loadouts and things like that. Yes, you have camos and stuff. There's 4 mastery camos in zombies. They haven't really said anything more about that. I'm not sure if it'll be like different maps or if it'll be like, okay, one for doing that gun, you know, the gold equivalent, one for doing all of the guns in that category, like the platinum equivalent, then one for doing everything, and then another mastery one maybe? I'm not really sure. I'd assume it's something like that. But anyway, you've got a score menu, obviously. It also says, you know, if you want, you have a primary weapon and your fists, and then a melee weapon. It's kind of interesting that you have a dedicated melee weapon now, especially for zombies, because melee weapons are quite fun in zombies, but it always feels like a bit of a waste of a slot. So it's nice to have sort of a dedicated section for that. That's pretty cool. And then it also says there you can improve your weapons a little bit more by, you know, purchasing essence. Like you can get higher rarity wall buys and stuff like that. You can get ammo mods again, just like you could before. And obviously there'll be things like the zombie build system found in wall buy or mystery box, or in one of your own personal weapon builds, provided you've saved a custom build and assigned it to be accessible at a wall buy or mystery box in the loadout menu before a match. This will even implement the camo charm and stickers you've applied to your zombie build weapon. So I guess in the gunsmith there'll be like a special section for doing your zombie build for a weapon. Kind of cool. So I guess rather than it having to be like, okay, you pick up a gun and decide which blueprint you're going to use, which blueprint you've saved, instead you'll say, okay, this is the blueprint I want to use in zombies. I'm assuming that's how that'll work. Then there's field upgrades. So just like there were field upgrades before, and kind of annoyingly, the 4 of them are just the same as what we've had before. Aether Shroud, Frenzied Guard, Healing Aura, Energy Mine. Nothing too exciting. But there's a new one called Dark Flare, which generates a massive energy beam that deals lethal shadow damage, and it penetrates everything in its path. I'm assuming that's kind of like, well, I thought that was maybe like a shotgun thing, but it looks like from the section it's in, maybe that's what this device is. That it's not a new wonder weapon. It is a new field upgrade where you kind of zap enemies in a line. So that's that. And you can augment them, and it says they cannot be dropped, but for the first time in zombies, you can swap to a different field upgrade at any time using the in-game menu, but your cooldown will reset. I thought for some reason you could do this in Cold War. I thought you could just swap your field upgrades, but maybe I'm wrong. Could you do it in Outbreak or something? I feel like I've been able to swap field upgrades before. Like you would start by using one of them and then you'd switch to another one when the rounds got harder. But apparently I'm misremembering it because it says it's the first time in Zombies. It says there additional pieces of Dark Flare. With some promising mass takedowns during previous matches, you begin focusing on researching the field upgrade, the Dark Flare field upgrade, in between matches, and start to unlock the augment, adding more power for the field upgrade. So it sounds like you kind of develop the Dark Flare field upgrade rather than having it straight away at the beginning. You can see the minor augment, things like Heavy Shadow, which slows the enemies. The major augment is Shadow Ball, that replaces the beam with a sphere. We've seen weapons that do that before. I don't think that's anything too exciting. We've got the crafting table back, so you can build tacticals just like you could before. It looks like similar things. Symbol monkeys, Casimir grenade, shock charge, decoy smoke, stim shots, concussion. Nothing super exciting. It does say there for the smoke, it blocks automated targeting systems. So I'm guessing there's going to be turrets at some point, maybe, and you can defend yourself from them. There's lethals, combat axe, sticks and stones, please. Thermo grenades, sticky and frag grenades, or the new blast trap, which is a small missile strapped with an improvised explosive. Sounds like the breacher drones, maybe, from Modern Warfare 3. And then you can use salvage to build all of these if you want to. Then there's support equipment at the crafting table, like a self-revive, an Arc XD, which is an electric explosive RC car, a sentry turret for you, and mutant injection, which turns you into a mangler, as we've already talked about. That's the new thing that lets you use all of the Mangler's weapons. Again, I wish it was something new, but oh well. We don't get new things. Or not many. Gobblegums. There's custom packs. You can choose which packs of Gobblegum you want to have. And again, you've got sort of different rarities of Gobblegums. So like Ultra ones have things like Perkaholic. Whimsical Gobblegums include things like Newtonian Negation. So zombies killed fall straight up. So you can get like funny ones or you can get super strong ones. That's kind of cool. There's different Gobblegum machines by looks. Oh no, is that just the animation for it? That's maybe just the animation for it. So it says you can store 3 unique Gobblegums at once. Nothing too unusual there. And you can use 1 or 2 or 3 of them at once all as well. Gobblegums can't be dropped or shared, but you can switch to a different pack at any time during a match. New Gobblegums are earnable in-game simply for playing. Expect to earn 1 or more random Gobblegums every few rounds. I'm willing to bet you get them in the Battle Pass. I'm 100% sure you will get them in the Battle Pass. You'll get Gobblegums with bundles. You just wait for the bundles where you get Perkaholic. You'll get like 2 Perkaholics if you buy a 20 quid bundle. I can pretty much guarantee that's going to happen. Right, then there's new Perka-Colas. Right, so it looks like we've got lots of perks that we're used to. So Quick Revive, Juggernog, Stamina Up, Elemental Pop, Deadshot Daiquiri, Speed Cola, PhD Flopper, and then we've got the Melee Macchiato, which is the new one. Looks like we've only got 1 new perk at the moment. Maybe there'll be new ones added like later on. Who knows? Let's hope so. But Melee Macchiato, does it say what that one does? Melee Macchiato... No, not up there. Here it inflicts enhanced and severe punishment at close range, and then replaces weapon gun butt with a deadly punch that sends enemies flying. Fair enough. And you can add it so they could reload your gun a little bit, or they can heal you. That's kind of cool, the vampirism one. The idea that you can drink that and then you can punch stuff to heal. That makes it a little bit more like Doom, which is cool. Right, there's the Arsenal machine. So rather than going to the Pack-a-Punch anymore, you can now go here to get stuff like Brain Rot, Cryo Freeze, Dead Wire, Napalm Burst. They're all the old ones. And then there's a new one, Shadow Rift. So bullets deal shadow damage. Each bullet has a chance to spawn a black hole. Oh, so this must be the one that we saw the shotgun using earlier on. That must be that. And then you can augment all of those. There's a Rampage Inducer from the start, which is kind of cool. So when you activate it, zombies will get a bit more aggressive and a bit quicker for the first 20 rounds. Kind of, it's in theory meant to address the thing that I was saying earlier, that it kind of sucks that zombies doesn't get going for a while, that it's, you know, a bit too easy at the beginning. The only problem with the Rampage Inducer is that then it also kind of ruins some of the Easter egg setup kind of stuff that you want to do while it's a bit quieter at the beginning. It's kind of a weird balancing thing where it definitely helps, but I don't think it's the ideal solution. I think the ideal solution would just be increase the pace of zombies in general so it gets harder quicker, rather than just doing this for the first 20 rounds. There is ground loot, so you'll be able to find salvage, armor plates, tacticals, lethals. There's ammo caches, just like there used to be. There's the tactical raft. You have to pay essence for it. And then it says there, swimming in the chopping waters of the ocean under current circumstances is possible but not advised. This is a quicker way of doing it. And it looks like you do actually drive it, but that big tentacle thing might attack you. Also in this video, super interesting, you can see there's a ton of little islands there, you know, little campfires and stuff. That looks cool. That's a fun thing to explore. I think that'd be good. The trials machine is back. That looks like it's got a bit of a new design. So there's a trials machine that will give you a bunch of different rewards for doing trials. I quite like trials. They're all right. They're kind of fun. All the power-ups, it's just the same power-ups as what we've seen before. Different elemental damage. There's all the old ones, plus shadow now. That's a new one. Weapon rarity upgrades, it goes up to legendary, the orange ones, just like it did before. Wall buys. This is kind of explaining all stuff that maybe you didn't know. Mystery boxes, so you can buy different stuff, including possibly wonder weapons. So you can get stuff like that. And it says, in addition, thanks to the zombie build system, there's a chance that a mystery box weapon spawns one you've already built out in the loadout menu, but with the added benefit of a rarity upgrade. So sometimes the mystery box will give you blueprints of guns that you've already got. And Mr. Peak still appears sometimes just to kind of mess you up a little bit and disappear. Pack Punch Machine is back, so you can pay a lot of money to do that. It says there one thing that's kind of interesting, because I guess they took the ammo mod stuff out of it. Now it's just one button to do it, so you don't have to like go into a menu and choose the upgrade. You'll just go in and be able to press a button and upgrade, so you don't mess around and get killed with it, which is pretty cool. Primary weapons and melee weapons can all be upgraded up to 3 times at the Pack-a-Punch machine, as well as any wonder weapon. Any wonder weapon. So apparently all the wonder weapons will be able to be upgraded. Wonder weapons, there's the Beam Smasher. I thought that was the Reiki, but okay, apparently I was wrong. It's comparable in size and shape to a light machine gun and fires a single beam barrel, emitting a supercharged and incredibly damaging etheric beam. There we go. So that's a new wonder weapon. And it says there it sometimes explodes by the looks of it and knocks enemies down. But you can Pack-a-Punch it. That's cool. Then there's the enemies. So there's lots of zombies, which is kind of cool. It does say that there might be more enemies that you'll see across Black Ops 6 Zombies. But also just kind of a heads up, there might be some small spoilers in this, I guess, if you don't want to know anything about what you're going to be up against. So there's zombies, there's more zombies, there's armored zombies, there's heavy zombies, there's vermin, which are these new little spidery things, parasites, which are the flying ones. That yellow one does make it look a bit more like the Shadows of Evil thing. There's manglers to fight. You can be a mangler or you can fight them. There's amalgams, which are made up of lots of different things. And then later on, the hordes get harder. That makes sense. Then it says, Terminus is a living world of terror and traps. So you've got traps in there, the void cannon trap, the tentacle trap, the big tentacle. So that's the thing that's in the water, I think. So that's kind of what puts you off from swimming. And then it just goes on to say that, okay, there's going to be more information at COD Next later. So now I should be able to finally finish this video. I did the trailer originally and then I was like, oh, there's a bit more. And then there's a bit more, there's a bit more. I think we're done. That's all the information. So let me know in the comments. What do you make of all of this? Obviously, feel free to correct me on stuff I got wrong. Point out things that I missed. If there's stuff that got you hyped about zombies, please let me know, because I want to get hyped for zombies. Right now, I'm kind of, after the trailer, I was like, meh, this doesn't look that great. After reading the blog post, I'm a bit more excited. The idea of being able to take the boat around to different islands and explore, that's kind of cool. I like that. The fact that you can go into third person, that's pretty cool. There's a few new enemy types. The idea of like having skill trees for all of the perks and ammo mods and stuff like that. There's stuff that I'm excited about. I'm like definitely more hyped after reading this blog post than I was after watching the trailer. But if there's stuff you're excited about, let me know in the comments. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, turn your notifications on, and I'll see you for the next one. Goodbye.